Does someone have to use necromancy in order to defeat a giant monster? It's getting really old now. Come on. So, for some unexplained reason, Mr. Masaaki Tezuka was given a second chance to make another Godzilla movie. Probably because Toho assumed that he had learned his lesson from Mechagodzilla. Let's just hope he did. Well, this time, Tezuka decided to bring back Mechagodzilla and put a little spin on its origin. Mechagodzilla in this movie is mostly referred to by the name Kiryu, derived from, I don't know what you say this word, Kikairu, excuse me, the Japanese word for machine dragon throughout the film. Also, machine dragon. Yeah, I can see that. This was done to differentiate the character from previous versions, which is a good thing. Also, there's a Japanese baseball star who has a cameo in this film due to his nickname Godzilla. I'm not kidding. See if you can spot him. Also, he's part of the New York Yankees. Glad he wasn't part of the New York Mets, am I right? It is also worth noting that this is the first film in the series with a soundtrack recorded outside of Japan. Director Masaaki Tezuka once again turned to composer Michiru Oshima following their successful collaboration on Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, with the score itself being recorded by the Moscow International Symphonic Orchestra under conductor Mr. Kremetz. I guess that's it. Is that how you say his last name? Yeah. The final result is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla 2K2 edition, which was released on December 14th, 2002, earning $2,253,231 in its opening weekend and grossed approximately like $60 million in Japan, making it the second biggest hit of the Millennium Godzilla films at the box office. Which isn't saying much given the fact that Godzilla's popularity was on a steady decline after 2000. Anyway, as usual, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. Let's get into it. Also, spoilers are up ahead. You've been warned. In 1999, 45 years after Godzilla's first attack in 1954, we're starting off strong here, Lieutenant Akane, how you say your last name, Yashiro, a major cannon technician, is unable to kill a new member of Godzilla's species during her first fight. For those of you out there who say, oh my god, Godzilla was only one single creature, it can't be a species, you've been proven wrong. She accidentally knocks a vehicle down the mountain, or off the road and down the mountain off of a fucking cliff, where it and its occupants are crushed by Godzilla. Oops. And she is transferred to a desk job. AKA, she got demoted. During the battle, it was discovered that Godzilla is immune to mesa fire, rendering all of the Japanese military useless against it. By the way, the military in this movie is called the Anti-Megalosaurus Force. Hashtag best name ever. Scientists include single founder Tokumitsu Yuhara, how did I not screw that name up, are gathered to build a biomechanical robot from the original Godzilla skeleton. And I'm sure it won't bite them in the ass later. The cyborg Mechagodzilla named Kiryu, and that's exactly what I'm going to call it for the rest of this review, is finished and inducted into the Japanese Self-Defense Force, or the AMF, along with its human pilots as the Kiryu Squadron, or Kiryu Squad. Akane becomes the main pilot for Kiryu, and I'm sure she won't fuck up in the least. I'm sure she won't screw up again. However, memories of Akane's actions during the original fight still linger, and one of her squadron mates, Second Lieutenant Suzumu Hayama, holds her responsible for the death of his brother, who was in the car she knocked down the mountain. Yikes. 4 years later, that will be 2003, Kiryu is shown to the world and the complete system that controls the unit is explained. Controlled remotely from a control craft that resembles a very large jet fighter with V-stall capabilities and can remotely recharge from the ground using microwaves that are relayed through a power system on one of the command aircraft and then beamed back down to Kiryu. First of all, who in the world thought it was a good idea to have Kiryu charged with batteries? If you're going to use batteries, use Duracell. They are much better. Forget Energizer. Those things are... Oh yeah, that commercial. Energizer keep going? No, they don't keep going. They just drain. At the end of the presentation, its greatest and most powerful weapon, the freezing absolute zero, is shown. Basically what it is that Kiryu fires it, he freezes something, and then he shatters it like a cheap piece of glass you find at a glass shop. At the same time, Godzilla shows up once again. Wonder what the hell is he been? And Kiryu is launched into battle. Not even going to do any second tests. I'm sure it won't bite you in the ass. In the midst of the first battle, Kiryu's soul is awoken by Godzilla's roar and brings with it the memories of the original Godzilla's death. Oh boy, looks like I spoke too soon. As if it were the original Godzilla, Kiryu, deciding to pull in Avian Unit 1, proceeds to destroy the city around it after Godzilla retreats to the ocean floor. Horrified, the Kiryu Squadron can only watch in alarms as the rampaging cyborg destroys more city property than Godzilla ever did. As if he ever done anything to begin with as soon as he came on shore. He only destroyed one single glass building, that's it. After one single hour, yes, that's how long it lasted, Kiryu runs out of energy and it is brought back to headquarters for further work and further repair. Well, what do you know? It did bit them in the ass. And also, I told you it was a bad idea to have Kiryu run off of Energizer batteries. You didn't fucking listen. All the while, Akane deals with Hayama resenting her and trying to get her to leave, along with Takemitsu's attempts to get to know her, despite her always seeking solitude. I mean, she kind of seeks solitude with his daughter Sarah. Also, Sarah is a saint, holy Christ. Later on, I guess later that night, Godzilla attacks again and does a humongous amount of damage. Let me just tell you that. After the repairs are done and made, Kiryu is released from the air and hits Godzilla with immense speed, aka he shoulder checks him. Oof, what an entrance. After that amazing entrance, Godzilla and Kiryu face off in a head-to-head battle where each combatant sizes up its opposite and exchanges powerful blows that devastates the cityscape around them. Kiryu gains the upper hand and beats down Godzilla. Kiryu then proceeds to launch the Absolute Zero, but Godzilla fires his atomic breath. During the course of the impact, Kiryu is disabled, and the remote piloting system is completely taken offline. In an effort to continue the fight, Akane orders Hayama to land his command craft so that she can make her way to Kiryu and take control from its internal cockpit. For emergencies only. As she leaves, Hayama wishes her good luck, signifying that he forgives her, to which she gives a thumbs up. See, this is what I like to call character growth. Also, the amount of guts that she has to do this is ridiculous. Now under direct human control, Kiryu rises from the ground one more time and closes in on Godzilla for a final blow, hoping to use the Absolute Zero cannon at point-blank range. And I'm not kidding when I say point-blank. The two titans collide, and Akane uses Kiryu's thrusters to propel it and Godzilla out to sea before firing, freezing a huge portion of the ocean around them. Also, at the same time, Godzilla is about to fire his atomic breath while the Absolute Zero is being fired. After the blast clears, Godzilla is shown to be alive, but with a huge gash in his chest, a broken arm, and a wounded eye. Ouch. And swims back into the ocean. Kiryu is heavily damaged as well, missing its right arm, and the Absolute Zero cannon is completely devastated. With Kiryu successfully repelling the monster, it is taken back to the base for repairs. In the post-credits scene, Akane agrees to have dinner with Takemitsu and his daughter Sarah and gives Kiryu one last salute. I am going to take a 3-minute break. In the meantime, here is Battery by Metallica. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back, and let's get into the critical response to this movie. When this film came out in Japan, it actually got some positive reviews. Not some, a lot of positive reviews. Mike Pinsky of DVD Talk gave the film 3 stars out of 5, saying, "While I did have some minor complaints, this is a fine entry in the series." Pinsky also said, "The plot is more interesting than most giant monster movies, and the battle scenes, which are the main reason anyone watches these movies to begin with, were great. Giving the film a B+ score, Mark Zimmer of Digital Obsessed said that it's a good deal of fun and one of the better entries in the series. And finally, Digital Monster Island gave the film a B score, calling it a fun and exciting film that should please most kaiju fans. Now it's my turn. To me, it felt like I was watching an anime, and it made me wish that it was an anime movie. If that was the case, who in the world would have animated it? Probably Studio Ghibli. Probably. Anyway, the story here is almost the same as Mechagodzilla, but the execution is much better handled. I feel like the redemption story is written better than Mechagodzilla. Tezuka tested the waters to see what he can and cannot do with the story in Mechagodzilla, and it works here in this movie. And it's such a shame that he uses this plot thread over and over and over again after this one. Thankfully, not in the next movie. The characters are a joy to watch. Akane is obviously the best highlight. Yumiko Shaku did a fantastic job with her character. In fact, that goes for all of the actors and actresses who are either new or returning in this movie. Moving on to the monsters, Kiryu's design is very creative and unique. Godzilla's new design, okay, I gotta be honest, I did a double take on this suit. At first I was like, okay, this is decent, I guess. However, over time, the more I look at it, the more I like it. It's a twist on the Michiru suit while also an update on the Heisei design, but more slimmed down and slick. Also, I love how the face gives off so many emotions. It just gives off that feeling of, this Godzilla suit can actually act. Like an actual actor. And this design will go on to be the design in various IDW comics. The cinematography and the way that the fight scenes were shot are very creative. Even when Kiryu was swinging Godzilla around like a fucking sandbag and it looked completely ridiculous, it was still well done. Speaking of, the practical effects are a humongous improvement from Mechagodzilla. I am a sucker when they put a lot of detail in the miniatures themselves. And the choreography is also well done. And you get the feel of that because of, once again, the music. Let me say this right now. This is the second best soundtrack in the entire franchise, Fight Me. Michiru Oshima's score is once again phenomenal. My favorite highlights and tracks? Well, all of them. Her music has more bombastic feels into each track, and I love it. Her updated Godzilla theme, fantastic. Kiryu's theme, also fantastic. Don't get me wrong, Mechagodzilla soundtrack is great, but this soundtrack gives me goosebumps to this day. And I actually got goosebumps while listening to that. Jesus Christ. Overall, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is, without a doubt, the second best movie in the Millennium Era, earning my final grade of 95 drained batteries out of 100. Some iffy compositing shots and CGI effects held the film down by 5 points, but it's enough for you to buy it on Blu-ray and buy it digitally. Alright, that'll about do it for this episode. For more thoughts and First Amendment opinions on kaiju movies, video games, and anime, stay tuned on the Brumakian podcast and subscribe to Brumakian Productions for more juicy content. This has been Demetrius signing off, and hail to the king.